Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to make my own version of French toast. So here I have 2 eggs that I'm going to crack into a bowl. So if you noticed, as I started recording, I turned on the heat on the pan. So I'm going to do this very quickly. Mix the eggs. You can add a pinch of salt if you want to. You can also add milk. So you give the eggs a good whisk in a bowl. I'm using 2 eggs and I have my bread ready. I'm using 2 slices of bread. So let's see, I've been cooking lately with avocado oil. I'm going to use olive oil this time around. So here in the pot, I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil. You can see it's not too much oil. Okay, and so you can see this is getting quite hot. I'm just going to distribute the oil evenly. Make sure the oil is evenly distributed so that the bread doesn't stick. So here is the egg mix. So I'm just going to take 1 piece of bread and just dip it in the egg mix like so, and turn it to the other side and just dip it briefly into the egg mix. Then once that's fully dipped, I'm going to add it into the pan. You can see the pan is not really hot. You want it a little bit hotter than this, but not too hot. Safety first in the kitchen. So you dip the bread inside the bowl. Okay, ideally I need a bigger bowl so that the bread can be dipped quite well. So there's extra egg mix. I'm just going to pour it into the pan like so. So that should not take too long to cook. It's a nice little breakfast called French toast. I don't know why it's called French toast, but that's what it's called. And then I have a clean plate to receive the French toast. So, all right, here we go. This particular cooker cooks once it gets heated, it cooks really hot. I'm going to turn this over. You can see it's not totally well done, well cooked, because it wasn't hot to start with. But still, safety first in the kitchen. So this will get going. I don't want it to burn. I'm going to push it down a little bit so that the bread can cook properly. You don't want it soggy. You want to make sure all the egg is cooked before serving it. So this is my version of French toast. I think it's a nice little meal, combining egg and bread. And I'm turning it frequently so it doesn't burn. So the option is to add milk and then add a little pinch of salt, but I chose not to add milk today, but I've done it with milk before. So you just make sure you turn it until it's fully cooked. I'm going to turn the vents on here. Might be a bit noisy. Alright, so you can see it's cooking nicely. I just turned down the heat because the pan is quite hot. It's this sort of cooker. It depends on the cooker you have. And you just push it down a little bit. I like these silicone tongs, non-scratch, so it doesn't scratch your cooking surface. You don't want to use metal on this sort of pans, you will spoil the lining. So I like these silicone tongs for that purpose. They're quite nice, and you can get them at TJ Maxx or Marshalls. This brand is by Emile Lagasse. Excuse my pronunciation. I think I bought 2 in 1 pack. Alright, you can see our bread is nicely browning. So a few more seconds and it's done. You just want to make sure you don't have any uncooked egg bits. And here we have French toast. If you're making more, you just have to add more oil and redo the steps. That's all. That means you have more egg mix. So I would say you can do 1 egg for 2 slices of bread, or 2 eggs for 4 slices of bread, depending on how much egg. In this case, I used 2 eggs for 2 slices of bread. So if you are making a lot, just make sure you have more mix, and you just repeat the steps. You take this out, you put a little oil in the pan, and just repeat the steps. Just make sure it's cooked through, because there's nothing pleasant about someone eating raw egg in here. So it's all cooked through. So there we have our French toast, my version of French toast. Bon appetit.